No matter what type of success Mississippi State athletics has over the next few years, it's a safe bet athletes from the Delta will have a hand in it. That's the Egg Bowl trophy on display at Tuesday's Road Dog Stop in Greenwood. Dan Mullen hoping to keep it right there in Starkville with the help of Weston linebacker Gary Green. Meanwhile, basketball coach Rick Ray is looking to Amanda Elsie guard Maurice Dunlap for an offensive lift on the court.
He's faced adversity coming off an injury, but has worked hard to get himself back. Has a chance to finish as valedictorian at Greenville High School, and how he handles himself in the classroom and in the community, and those are young men that we want in our program.
We had a lack of shooting, and that's what Mo Dunlap does. He shoots the ball for us, and so we can put him in situations where we isolate him, and the defender has to make a decision: is he going to stay with Craig Chicken Sword on his penetration, or does he come help off of Dunlap? So he spreads the court for us and gives us a much-needed variety in shooting the basketball.
All right, and while that new batch of Bulldogs will be hitting the MSU campus this fall, an old dog is headed west to Texas. Former Mississippi State head coach Rick Stansbury named an assistant at Texas A&M. He was the head man in Starkville for 14 seasons, guiding Maroon and White to 6 NCAA tournaments during that time. Joins an Aggie program that went just 18-16 last year under embattled coach Billy Kennedy. Stansbury is 54 years old. And staying on the court, mark your calendars. The games for the 2014 SEC Big 12 Challenge announced today, and they have Ole Miss at home facing TCU. The Rebels are 3-1 all-time against the Horned Frogs. TCU, however, they lost 19 games last year, including all of their Big 12 conference matchups. Mississippi State is not participating in the challenge this upcoming season. And the rest of the schedule, interconference schedule for basketball, is going to look like this in December. The first game is Bruce Pearl's Auburn Tigers at Texas Tech. Then it's Arkansas and Iowa State, Baylor and Vandy. LSU tangles with West Virginia, and the aforementioned TCU at the Rebels. That Friday, it's the heavy hitters, Florida and Kansas, Mizzou and Oklahoma, and the big one, Texas at Kentucky. That's going to be nice. And it finishes up with K-State at Tennessee, Okie State at South Carolina. Again, Mississippi State, along with Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia, not taking part this year. One final for you on the softball diamond from the SWAC softball tournament. Mississippi Valley comes back to beat Southern tonight 7-4. The Devilettes will play the winner of Jackson State and Grambling State tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. Well, in the NFL now, nearly 3.5 months after the final NFL and college games were played, the first selection in the upcoming draft will be announced tomorrow night. Let's take a look at some of the SEC names you need to know.
The big SEC names of Jadeveon Clowney and Johnny Football are expected to be top 10 picks, but there's still plenty of Southeastern talent once those two are off the board. Wide receiver talent is there as well. Texas A&M's projected first-rounder Mike Evans is a 6'5" guy whose size can scare secondaries. And don't sleep on Ole Miss's Dante Moncrief either. The former Rebel is projected to go in the second or third round. After Clowney goes on defense, be sure to take a look at Alabama safety HaHa Clinton Dix. Slot receivers may not be laughing at his name once they see his range and speed and knack for intercepting the ball. Should be a first-rounder. Other SEC options on D include HaHa's fellow Crimson Tider C.J. Mosley and Mizzou DN Coney Ely.
All right, and keeping with the NFL, after dubbing himself the best cornerback in the game, Richard Sherman's about to get paid like it. The Seahawks signing the defensive back to a contract extension, 4 years, $57.4 million, with $40 million of that guaranteed, making the 26-year-old Sherman the richest cornerback in the game. Now, this past season, he helped lead Seattle to its first ever Super Bowl win, a 43-8 domination of the Denver Broncos. Last stop, the college baseball diamond, where Jameis Winston returned to the Florida State team. He rejoins the Seminoles after completing community service for stealing some crab legs at a grocery store. He pitched one inning, giving up a run in a 9-4 victory over Stetson. Hey, Coach, how was it letting famous Jameis back on the team?
He walked over, shook my hand, and said, "I'm so glad to be back." And I said, "We're happy to have you back." He's that kind of guy.